that influences me if I'm a very spiritual person.
Spiritual.
Yeah. So I'm a Christian,
Okay.
and I strongly believe that God has control of everything that happens on this earth, happens in my life, um, and you know, yeah, I just ooh, oh my God,
Yeah, they're
they're gonna
annoying.
come.
Could we talk about the Christian God? Is that all right?
I'm sorry.
Could we talk about the Christian God?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So you believe Christian God is real and true?
Yes, I
Uh,
do.
could I get a sense of your confidence that it's true? Say in a scale from 0 to 100.
Oh, it's definitely 100.
100.
No doubts whatsoever.
All right. And what would you say is like the main reason why you're so confident that it's true?
Because I've seen him work, in my life personally. As far as, when you're in a situation that there's literally no other way how you could have gotten out of it. I know some people, I guess, would substitute it for luck or, just coincidence, but there's definitely no doubt that there's a higher power that is allowing these things to happen and that comes through at a time where you're completely down and, like you literally are at ground zero. Like there's no other way that this could have worked had it not been for a higher power.
Gotcha.
So
That's the main reason why your personal experiences
personal experiences for sure
about the
have
God.
proved it.
All right. Um, I'm not saying it's the case, but if someone could explain to your satisfaction that these personal experiences had nothing really to do with the God, I'm not saying that's the case, but if someone could explain to your satisfaction that that's the case, would that change your confidence at all in the
No,
God?
not at all.
No.
Because with faith, it's the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. So there is no actual proof or anything that anyone could say that would convince me that that's not real or that my relationship or experience that I've had is not of God because it's something that you feel it's a belief that you have. Um, it's just similar to people that have belief in science. They feel like hey, this proves this makes sense to me, so this is what I do. So that's what I believe in. So it's like the same thing.
Okay. So, yeah, just to make sure I'm hearing you correctly, you say you use faith to believe that it's true.
Hmm.
Faith is something that you just feel or believe, and it just makes sense to you.
So faith is the evidence of things not seen, but
Hmm.
evidence of things not seen. Gosh, I just said it right a couple of seconds
The
ago.
substance of things hoped for,
Right.
and the evidence of things not seen.
Right. Substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. So, with that being said, basically, faith is just like you said, pretty much believing and trusting that even though I can't physically see God, I can't see Him. I know that He's real because of the things that He's done in my life.
Okay.
In other people's lives that have had testimonies of,
Mm-hmm.
direct contact. Some people have actually spoken to him. Some people have had dreams or he's come into their lives. Um, God kind of comes in your life in different ways. It could be dreams. It could be premonitions. It could be, you actually hear a voice. Another person could maybe be like a prophet and speak to you, things like that too.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to just stick with faith for a second.
Okay.
Um, so you're saying it's just something you believe. Like, is just believing in something a reliable way to conclude something's true?
Well, yeah, because I believe I've also experienced it personally.
What do you mean? How does the belief relate to the experience? You believe
Because
because of your experience?
right. So if you believe that, I'm trying to think of an example. You believe that I think one that's kind of similar. If you believe in something and that belief that you have, you've seen it manifest, then it makes it, true to you. You know what I'm saying? So if you believe that if you drink water, I don't know, 90% of your day that you're going to, I guess, that's different because that's a physical thing. Like, obviously, if you drink water, you're going to urinate. But just if you believe in something specific and you kind of practice it or you do it, then it becomes true to you.
Okay. So for this belief, you practice it and you do it, and that gives you confidence that it's true?
Right.
Okay. If someone from another religion came up to the table and said that they practice and do their belief, is that a justifiable way to conclude that their God is true?
That's an individual choice. It's everybody has whatever belief and faith and direction that they've chosen to believe in, and if they practice that and that's what they believe, then that's what they believe.
Can someone choose to make a belief true?
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could believe in whatever. You could believe that, I don't know. Um,
Like actually true. How does someone's choice relate to the truth of a belief? That's what I'm trying to understand.
but it's individual. If you believe in something, it's true to you. It's not true to everybody. It's just your truth. You have to believe in whatever it is that you believe in. It has to be something that you truly believe in, and that becomes your truth.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Could people be mistaken about a belief in anything?
I honestly feel like this world and we all are given an opinion and we're all given a choice to decide what it is that you want to put your energy, thought process, whatever it is that you want to believe in, I guess, that you have that option. So whether it being true is not my word to say if your belief is true or yours, you know what I'm saying? It's your choice to kind of make that decision. Not everybody believes in God. And that's a belief that they've accepted. They don't believe that there is a God in this world. They believe in science. They believe in natural or Mother Nature, and that's their choice. So that's not for me to say that that's not true to them. To me, my belief has proven that it's true in my life. If that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, for them, is it just because of a choice that they have confidence that it's true?
It could be their life experiences that's made them feel that Mother Nature or science has been their truth in their life.
Is just wanting there to be no God a reliable way to conclude that that's true?
One more time.
Is just wanting to believe that there's no God, is just wanting that to be the case a reliable way to conclude that there's no God?
Is wanting to believe that there is no God a reliable way to conclude that there is no God?
Yeah.
So basically, you're asking somebody believes there's no God. Does
If
that
someone
mean?
wanted it to be the case that there is no God, is that a reliable way to conclude that that's true?
Um, if somebody just thinks that there is no God, is that a reliable way to believe that to conclude that's
Yeah, just
true?
because they think it is that a reliable way to conclude there's no God.
I mean, if that's what you think, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really say what's true and what's not true to somebody else. Because me talking about God could be completely like, that doesn't make sense to somebody else, you know? So if that's what you believe, that's what you think. If you believe there is no God, even though to me, it's obvious that there is definitely a God because there's a lot of things that science can't prove. So to me, it wouldn't make sense for you to not believe that there is a God.
Yeah, like if someone, if we're talking about like choice, so if someone just chose to believe that God exists and another person chose to believe that God does not exist, if someone, just seeing both of you, wanted to believe true things, saw both of you using just that reason, how would someone determine which one is more accurate?
I just feel like you just could look around and see,
What
for you, like how I just said, like if you're saying there is no God, you believe there is no God, then I would want to know, why don't you believe there is no God when there's things that can't be explained beyond science? There's the way this earth, how did the earth get here? How did all of this stuff happen that man can't explain? You can't, how did we get on this earth if there was not a higher power? So for you to not believe there is no God really wouldn't make sense to me, because how could you explain there is no God?
Does being unable to explain something a reliable way to conclude in the belief in something that might have made that thing? That seems convoluted. Let me try to
I
rephrase
kind of
that.
feel like I know what you're saying.
Like, how does the not understanding of how something came to be relate to the truth of it?
How does not understanding what came to be relate to the truth of it? So basically, someone who doesn't believe in God and can't prove that God is real, how does that?
Yeah, like if someone just couldn't think of any other couldn't think of how a god could have created the universe, is that a reliable way to conclude a god did not do it just by their their ignorance of it, ignorance of that, you know,
Okay, it's like one more time.
like if someone can explain how something happened, and they think something caused that thing to happen,
Mm-hmm.
using the reason, well, we just can't explain how it happened, to believe in that thing that caused it. If we can't explain it, how can we explain it?
I don't think everything needs an explanation, but if you're gonna believe in like science, which is supposed to be something that there's proof behind everything. With science, it's a cause and effect. There's a reason this happened for this, and there's a way to prove it with science. I feel like then you should be able to explain it if that's what you're gonna believe in. But with a higher power, him create God creating people and humans and the world and all of that, there's no real way to prove that. And that's already clear. But with science, there is supposed to be a way to prove it because science is supposed to, you can look at this, created this, and like I said, like cause and effect.
Are you saying
So
science has the proof for everything?
I'm not saying it's a proof for everything because that's why I don't believe in science, because it does not have proof for everything. Science ends at some point.
Yeah.
Science can only go back so far, and it can only do so much. And then obviously, then what? So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I personally feel for you to not believe in something means you believe in it. For you to choose to not believe in God or to not believe in a higher power means you have some type of understanding that one exists for you to choose not to believe it. Does that make sense? I know science is real, hence why I don't believe in it. So it's like if you're acknowledging the fact that there's a higher power and you can say out loud that I don't believe in God means that you, to me, believe.
Yeah, is there a difference between the lack of a belief in something and the belief that something is not true?
The lack of belief and then the belief that something's not true. I mean,
like say, someone could believe that there's an even number of Tic Tacs in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say someone believed that there's an even number. I could just not believe that to be the case. But does that mean that I believe it's an odd number? By not believing in this person saying there's an even number? Like, am I forced to conclude that it's odd?
Because you don't believe that it's even.
Because I don't believe that it's even. Or could I just be agnostic, like doubt both conclusions until given a good reason to pick one or the other?
I guess you can, yeah.
Okay.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's where I'm at for a belief like this.
Mm-hmm.
I see no reliable way to come to it. But if given a good reason, if given, like, say, we counted the number of Tic Tacs.
So basically, you believe in proof. You need to know for sure that this is something that is real before you actually believe in it wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I want to proportion my confidence to the evidence.
So you don't believe that. So you need evidence to believe in something. So this is really good because somebody asked me something before in the same exact situation that was really good. So how would you prove how mankind came on this earth?
I think there's proof for how we came to evolve.
Which is what, the evolution?
Evolution.
So just you correct me if I'm wrong. Evolution is the idea that we pretty much came from like the species that were here. That it evolved into like what was it started off as like I don't know what it started off as. I just remember like the apes turning into pretty much a human.
Yeah, basically the idea we all have a common ancestor. All of life is related in some way.
But that makes logical sense to you?
There's evidence for it that I
believe in.
That I
trust or feel
that
is
I trust.
proof.
Yeah, there is extraordinary evidence for that claim. Yeah.
So you're saying that you believe that, based off of evidence, that at one point we were pretty much apes
Yes.
that evolved into a human with who just doesn't happen to grow hair the same. We just can't evolve back.
All
into
of the apes living today, including us, share a common ancestor. We all evolved from that common ancestor, and the and that group, that population of those apes way back then went off in different ways, and they evolved based on their environment. Um, it takes a long time, but that's how it happened.
Did you grow up with a religion at all, or no religion at all?
I did grow up with one.
What was your religion that you grew up with?
A Southern Baptist.
Oh, okay. And just after you did research, you kind of came to the conclusion that you didn't, because I'm assuming you don't practice
No.
that religion. So you're just you kind of pretty much believe in science.
Yeah.
For the most part. So what do you think happens after we die?
I think our consciousness is tied to our brain, and once our brains break down, it just, it's like a flame going out. There's no more experience, no more conscious experience.
So we just die, and then that's just it. There's no afterlife. There's no. You don't believe in that.
That's what I'm. That's what I believe based on the evidence of consciousness being tied to physical brains. Yeah.
So with the definition I gave you about faith, faith is a substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. There's nothing that you feel you don't have evidence for, but that, like, for example, you can't prove that your mother loves you. Well, how would you define the way that your mom loves you, or that your mother loves you? How could you define that?
I couldn't prove it absolutely.
But right?
I'm very confident. Like on that scale from 0 to 100, I'm like 99% confident
that your mother loves you.
Yeah.
But why though? Why are you confident in that? Because you don't have proof and you don't have any hard evidence, but you know that your mother loves you.
I don't have any evidence. I think I could persuade you that that might be the case.
And what would you say?
What do you mean?
Like, what would you say to persuade me that she doesn't in fact love you?
I could give you video evidence.
I could give
you. She sends me pictures of our cats.
But how does that equate to her loving you? Because she sends you pictures of her cats.
Okay. I could run an experiment, like hook her up to an fMRI, and she could say she loves certain things, and we could show her pictures of that. And if her brain lights up about things that she loves, that she says she loves, and she sees a picture of me, and that same brain activity highlights, that could raise someone's confidence that she loves me, maybe.
But that's a machine. A machine can't tell you who loves you and who doesn't. It's like doing like a lie detector test.
Not absolutely, but we could be confident because of that. We could be confident that, just by her saying that she does. Not absolutely, but we could have confidence that that's true. I don't need 100% confidence to believe in things. I just need
proof.
I just need sufficient evidence.
To your standards, yeah. I guess. Evidence to your standards, yeah.
And for extraordinary claims, I require extraordinary evidence.
And you feel that believing in a higher power is extraordinary, that you need more evidence before you could believe in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So far, I have not found any evidence, not even, let alone extraordinary evidence for it.
So you don't believe in miracles? You don't believe that things could happen or things have happened in your life or someone else's life that just don't even make sense. Like this just doesn't even add up. Like, how could this person have gotten to this point, done this? You believe that you control your life and everything you do is because of you and what you've done. You don't.
I believe in coincidence and luck.
Okay.
And rare things happening. Just there's 7 billion people on the planet. If there's a 1 in a million chance of a thing happening, that seems to happen to 7,000 people every day. So rare things happen, for sure.
Okay, so you just believe in coincidence that, okay. Where I was trying to go with the love thing about, like, obviously you can't prove love. Same way that you can't prove that God is necessarily real, but it's a feeling. And you have your own sufficient evidence because you said you would something about cats and her sending you pictures or something like that, which really doesn't mean that she loves you whatsoever.
Not absolutely.
Because love is an people will say love is an action word. It's people show you how they love you or, things like that. But love is not, you can't measure love at all. You know what I'm saying? You can't really define how that this person loves you because of this. That's just not how it works. It's not just A, B, C.
There could be, I could change my mind about my mom loving me. There could be things that could happen that could change my mind about that.
As far as believing that she doesn't love you.
Yeah. It could have been the case that, she was lying this whole time. But I don't think that's the case. But it could be possible.
That your mom could possibly not love you.
Yeah,
but just be acting like she does.
Yeah, I want to proportion my beliefs to the evidence, and if more evidence came along to change my mind, I would go with that evidence.
It's interesting, very interesting. I totally understand your point of view, and there's a lot of people that obviously think the same way. Like, I need evidence before I could actually believe in something like that, But I guess it just goes into just having those experiences that you just can't. There's no other explanation for it. It's like there is no evidence for why this happened to somebody, or why I experienced this, or why that happened, or why the world, why this and that occurred. There's no evidence whatsoever for how this happened.
Yeah, there are some things that we don't know the reason why, but the time to believe something is when there's evidence for it, and if there's not, then for me, I just don't believe. I lack a belief.
You just lack a belief. You just choose not to believe. But you grew up knowing, like you learned about Jesus Christ, God, and I don't know about Southern Baptist. I'm assuming that's pretty much like you learned Christianity. You learned about that the way to get into heaven was through Jesus. Was that how you were raised?
Yeah, and then I found every reason that gave me confidence that it's true was not reliable to come to that belief.
How old are you, by the way?
30.
Oh, you're 30. Okay. So when did you come to this? When did you kind of come to that?
About 7 years ago.
7 years ago. And what prompted you to say, okay, I want to do some more research and like figure this out and see if I can find evidence?
I think some things online. Like seeing YouTube videos and Reddit posts.
But why do you believe that those are facts though? Like, how do you know the things that's posted and things that you read is even real? What if someone made that up? What if somebody just literally made it up and put it and said this is true? Because I can write something right now and post it and say this is true. This is factual. Yeah, I went here. I saw this.
Yeah, it's not the video or the post themselves.
Right.
It's the epistemology of it. It's the study of knowledge that I learned about, which led me to empiricism. Believing things because of evidence.
But what evidence have those things that you've researched? Like, what's the evidence that you've gotten that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you prove that?
It's not so much there can't be evidence for things that don't exist. But for things, there can be ways to show reasons to be unreliable to coming to a belief.
But what does it hurt to believe in it not be true than to not believe in it is true and then you die and then you just... You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, what does it hurt to believe?
It doesn't hurt, no, to believe. But I want to believe true things. As many true things as possible, but also as few false things.
Okay. Makes sense. A lot of people feel that way. So, totally makes sense. And the thing is, I respect you, though, because you grew up with the religion and then you researched for yourself and came to your own conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Not just kind of, okay, I'm just going to accept what I've been taught all my life and then just take this as being true because this is all that I've known.
Yeah, my ultimate authority is reality. And evidence is correlated with reality.
Okay. That was cool. Yeah. Okay. Nice conversation, like it really was. Did some of my points make, like, do you see where I'm coming from too?
I totally
understand. You totally do? Yeah. Okay. Nice. I totally see where you're coming from too. It's great chat, and good luck with everything. YouTube channel.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, what's the name of your YouTube channel again?
Cordial Curiosity.
Cordial Curiosity. Nice. All right, cool. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
You have a good one.
You too.
Thanks.
Have a great day.